Now let's continue with a few more JavaScript concepts. The first one we are going to see is called conditional operator, or this is also called ternary operator. Now this ternary operator is just a sort of syntactic sugar which looks something like this. So this ternary operator consists of these things where there is a question mark and colon. First part of and then because of these two symbols there are three parts. The first part is the condition. The second part is when this condition is true, then this part is taken, and when this condition is false, then this part is taken. Okay, now this means that this whole thing is an expression, and this whole thing will evaluate to this part if this condition is true, and this part if this condition is false, something like this. So let's say age less than 18, this is a number, this is a condition which evaluates to true or false. Now if this thing is true, then it will evaluate to kid, and if this thing is false, then this thing will evaluate to false. False means that it is evaluating to the area where it is going to be false, which means that this area is adult. So when this thing is false, this is going to be adult. So let's see it in example. So let's see the same thing. We see that just now we saw simply an expression. Let's say age less than 18, then it's age less than 18, then it's kid, otherwise it's adult. Now you can see that this thing is just an expression. So how to test that? In order to test that, let's write something. So let's say let's assign a variable called val, and this thing. Now if my age is, let's say 20, then this thing is going to be, you see, this thing is going to be adult, right? And if this thing is if I reassign, or let's say I say it to this is 10, then this is going to be kid, right? So now you understand that this, every time whenever the value I am setting, then this part checks that whether this condition is true or false and gives us an answer whether it is kid or adult. So you can understand that this whole thing is an expression. And this will evaluate to either kid or adult. Okay. So you can understand that if I write it in a function, so similar to like I have assigned it in a variable, you can again since it is an expression, you can return it from a function also. So for example, let's say I write some function like this, let get description, and then age I am passing, and then age is compared in this expression, in this ternary operator, and then this is going to be kid or adult based on the age which is passed, and then that value, whatever is evaluated, this expression, this whole expression, whatever is evaluated, that will be returned from this function. So for example, after declaring this function like this, when we call this function get description or DSC with 15, then this is going to be evaluated to kid, and when I call this same function with 25, then this is going to return me adult. Obviously directly it will not be visible, so you have to console log it, but when you console log it, you will get these values. Next we see something called type coercion. Type coercion, so whenever you see this word coercion, it means simply conversion. What is the difference between conversion and coercion? Coercion is also a type of conversion, right? But the difference is that this is implicit, means you are not explicitly doing this conversion, but JavaScript engine is internally doing it automatically. So something like this, let's say I print true plus false, then you see that the value is printed 1. How 1 is printed? 1 is printed because now true is treated as 1, false is treated as 0, and this automatic treatment, this internal automatic conversion, that is what is called coercion, which means that I have not said that convert true to 1, but in order to evaluate this expression, the JavaScript engine automatically did this conversion for us. So 1 plus 0 is 1. Now you see 10 divided by 5. If something like this is there, then what JavaScript will try to do that, okay, this is a string here, this 10 is a number, but this 5 is a string. So let's try to convert this 5 into number. So if you see that if you print something like 10 divided by, let's say, 2 in a string, then you see that it is 5. Okay, and when let's say this is also a string, then what is going to happen? You see, still it is 5, because it knows that you know this is division operator, and division operator will not make sense unless we have numbers, and that's why it internally tries to convert, that is called coercion. It tries to coerce this string into a number if possible. So if you see that if you do something like 10x, then you see that not a number, which means that it cannot convert this 10x string or some hello string into number, and that's why it is NaN. But if it is possible, then it converts that and you get the correct answer. Okay, but how it internally converts, what value to convert, what not to convert, that is like internal logic. And slowly as you go ahead with JavaScript, then you will but mostly it is sort of common sense which you can see. See here what is happening is that 10 plus 5 is there, but then it is not trying to convert this into number, and 10 plus 5 15 it is not doing. When one of the arguments of any operator is string, then rather than converting string to the other thing like number, it tries to convert the other thing into string. Okay, so it will convert here 10 number into string, and it will concatenate 10 string and 5 string, and that will be 105 string. So here when it is printed, it is not 105 number, it is 105 string. Okay, now here you see that hello plus 1 plus 2. So we know that plus operator is left associative. It means that it will start from grouping towards grouping from left, and then we will see that okay, hello is a string, hello plus 1, when I concat, then 1 will be converted to number. Sorry, one will be converted to string, it is already a number, and that will be attached. So hello 1. So this whole expression combined is hello 1, and then hello 1 string is concatenated with 2. Now 2 is number, so it converts 2 into string, and that's why the whole answer is hello 1 2. But that is not the case here. You see what happens? It tries to do this operation from left side, and then you see that 1 plus 2. Yeah, I think it is addition of numbers, so it is simply 3 plus hello. Now here it sees that okay, 3 plus hello, what does this mean? So I have to convert this 3 into string, like obviously. So in this case the answer will be 3 hello. Okay, so this coercion is implicit, but you can do explicit type coercion also with something like this. So when you do something like obviously when you do simply 10 plus 5, then obviously it will give you 105, but this thing is implicit, you have not said this to do. When a programmer himself or herself does something like this, that yeah, I'm particularly explicit about what it is going to happen, then you say that yeah, 10 convert 10 to string. So the syntax is something like string with capital S, and this sort of function is there, and if you pass something to it, then it tries to convert that thing into string, and then 10 string plus 5 is obviously 105. But in 10 plus 5 you don't have any control that what will happen, whether it is going to do that 5 conversion or 10 conversion. Actually it does 10 conversion to string, but if you are explicit, then you have control over it. For example, here I want 10 plus 5, I want to convert this to number, so you can do explicitly like that number, again number with capital N, this function is there, and in this function if you pass any string, then it tries to convert that into a particular number, into a particular number, and then that number will be added. Now this is also number 5, and then 10. So 10 plus 5 15. So you can see that if let's say I have let a is equal to 10 plus number 5, and this 5 is let's say string, then if I print a, then I am going to get 15. Now let's try something else. Let's say 5x. What does it do? So you see it is not a number. Why? Because if you simply print this part separately, then you see that this itself evaluates to not a number. And that's why when you did something like this, then this thing evaluated to not a number. Not a number plus anything plus any other thing will be again not a number, and that's why the whole answer was not a number. Okay. Now we have seen earlier something called triple equal to. There is something also called double equal to, but we said that we will not use that. But for now, just we will understand what is the difference between them, and then after that we will forget about double equal to. So just I am highlighting what is the difference, and then you have to always use triple equal to and exclamation mark double equal to, rather than double equal to and exclamation mark equal to. Okay, the difference is that when double equal to you are using, then it just checks for the value, not the type. But when you do triple equal to, then it checks for value as well as type. Okay, and in case of double equal to, it can perform type coercion. So just now we saw what is coercion. Coercion is automatic type conversion. Okay, so what will happen that when you do something with double equal to, then it will check it will firstly try to do the coercion and then try to have only a comparison among the values. But here no coercion will happen, just ditto whatever is type and value. If both are matching, then only it is equal, otherwise it is not equal. Again, what is not equal? Not equal, just opposite of this. So the triple equal to, just opposite is exclamation mark equal to equal to. Double equal to, exactly opposite is exclamation mark equal to. So as an example, you see something like this: 10 double equal to 10, string 10, and 10 triple equal to string 10. Then what happens that in triple equal to, it just checks for value and type both. Value should be equal and type should be also equal. Now here, let alone value, just even types are different. So we will simply see that yeah, this is not equal, and that's why the answer is false. But you see here that that is not the case here. Why? Because apart from value equality, it is also trying to do type conversion. So here internally, and that is why it is called coercion, because internally automatically it will try to do some type conversion. In this case, what it is doing is that so you have to actually see the specification, but in this case I believe that this 10 will be converted to number equal to, and then it will be compared with this number, and then it will say that yeah, it is true. But again, that's why, and you can understand that okay, the same logic, somebody says that no, I think that internally what it is doing, that 10 number it is converting to string and then comparing that with this. So again, now you see that is the problem. That is the problem why we are saying that, and this is just first of the things where we are getting confused. Hundreds of places are there where JavaScript will give weird answers if we are doing something like this, which is might not be intuitive, and that's why to bother about doing something else. Just that what is double equal to, and that double equal to does type coercion. That's it. But after that, never ever use that directly until unless you are absolutely sure that you are going to do whatever you wanted to do, that is the expected outcome. Then you can use that, but at least in the beginning part when you are learning JavaScript, just forget about double equal to. Always use triple equal to. Now here you can see that okay, not a issue, false, yeah, and just opposite of that will be true. Yeah. So that will be it for now. Let's meet you again in the next video.